Continuing on with some of the transition work, keeping the horse soft and relaxed. Now we're going to play with some, this isn't like we're being exact with the shoulder in, but we're playing with the shoulder in idea. It's more about keeping the horse as soft and relaxed through the head and neck and the back than it is about getting the perfect movement here. That we describe in some of the other videos. With Topper here being a gypsy, he's a little stiffer, a little bigger. You know, the draft horses tend to be not as sensitive and not quite as responsive usually. So that's a lot of what we're working on. But he's actually pretty good. As long as he knows what it is you want, then he's like, oh, okay, I'll do it. So we're going to first start off with some counter shoulder in. In the last video we played with some of the bands, and now we're going to play with some of the shoulder in and counter shoulder in. So we start off, the easiest way to do a shoulder in is in the counter shoulder in. So I'm going to just get him to bend his head and neck towards me. I'm standing between him and the rail here. We're going down the rail, so I can just tip his head and neck towards me. Again, I can hold wherever I need to on the halter to help him create that bend in his head and neck. Keeping the head low, a little bit slightly lower than the wither is kind of a great place to start. Every horse is a little different with that, but that's a great place to start. And eventually that'll come up as the horse is able to stay relaxed. Now we're going to bring my life up, say let's walk on. Keeping the head and neck soft and relaxed. Keeping the bend in the head and neck. See, he's kind of bracing a little bit. And so I can use my whip hand to keep the forward and say, let's keep going, keep the bend. I'll just cut across the arena here. Keep a nice, soft, actually that's pretty nice right there. And the shoulder in or counter shoulder in, the angle doesn't have to be real big right now. Just soft. Yeah, and come to a halt. And he wants to just keep going. So did you see how I just brought my whip over the other side of him just to kind of block it a little bit? Because I put a little feel on the halter and says, hey, come down, slow down. So his front end slowed down, but his front end kept going. So that was pretty good. Now we're gonna do that again. So I ask him to walk off, staying soft and relaxed. Nice bend in his neck, slight angle, that's really nice. And come to a halt. I can just reach over with the whip hand just to kind of block that. So I'm not too concerned about that because I'm going to fix it here in a little bit. But right now it's just, are you getting the bend? Getting him soft with a slight angle. So now how I'm going to fix that is we're going to turn it into a shoulder in. So here I'm doing a counter shoulder in. Now I'm just going to have him circle between me and the rail, and we're just going to go back the other way now. So now the horse is between me and the rail, and I put him in a little shoulder in, and I can ask him to come to a halt with a little feel on the halter here, but now the rail's helping to block to keep his hind end from swinging out too much. So that was really good. So now we can do that again. So just asking for forward, keeping a nice soft bend. He's kind of like, where do you want me? See, he wants to just kind of fall in. Yes. So I'm just helping him, saying, no, this is the posture I want you in. I want you in a shoulder in posture. Yeah. With a nice long neck here. Yep, this is nice, nice. And he got freed up in his feet. So now I'm asking him to come to a halt. Little resistance there, kind of bobbling. It's normal. Saying come to a halt. Get relaxed. He's still in the shoulder in position. And now I'm going to ask him off again. Can you maintain that shoulder in posture as we walk forward? Nice. So we're just working on these transitions, keeping them soft. Yeah, come to a halt, much better. Okay, now that we're getting some forward to halts while he stays in the shoulder in posture, is I'm going to ask him to back up while staying in the shoulder in. So it's a slight angle, slight bend. And we are doing this where he's between me and the rail because the rail's helping me. And I'm asking for his head to get a little lower, a little more relaxed. This is a little different for him. I'm not in a hurry here. Just helping him to understand what this is. Yeah. And if you're just starting off with this, is maybe you just get a step, 2 steps. You're like, oh, that's good. But as you go, you're looking for them to get fluid through the movement. And here he's getting some lick and chew. That was kind of a release for him. Because it's a bit different. They're bending, they're in that shoulder in position, but now they're having to back up, which helps them to bend and step a little more up underneath their body than even going forward. So now I'm going to keep them in that posture and say, hey, let's step forward, back into a shoulder in, staying nice and relaxed and long, and keeping him from kind of pushing into me because he wants to push in. Yeah. That was really slow, but it was soft, it was relaxed, he wasn't leaning on me, so I like that. Keeping him in this posture. Now I'm going to ask him to back up. Yay. Because I'm looking for, he gives me 1 step pretty nice, but can he give me 2 or 3 without being real sticky? Yeah, not bad. That was pretty good. So he's getting that pretty good on this side. Now I'll change sides, go back to this side. And again, we're starting off with the counter shoulder in first. Let the rail help you. So I get the bend, then I'm saying, hey, can we go forward? And just a way you can remember, we're not really doing backups in the counter shoulder in. Here we're just going forward and halting. Because if you don't have the rail there, it'd be really hard to keep him from just swinging his hind end out. So just get forward and halts in the counter shoulder in. And that's just bending them to the outside with their hind end slightly off the rail. Yeah, that's nice. Now I can come to a halt. Yeah, and he's holding that posture. He's right there. That's nice. Now we go off. Keeping him soft and relaxed and fluid. Coming in through this corner. There, he's kind of leaning on me. I'm going to tap a little bit more just to say, hey, don't lean. Yeah. Back to a halt. So that was nice. In this way, he's not swinging his hind end out as much, but it's easier for him to bend through his body this way than it is the other way. And that's why. So again, we walk off. Now I'm going to come off the rail myself a little bit just to give us a little space. Have him go between me and the rail. Now we'll turn this into a shoulder in, where he's nice and soft and relaxed. Come to a halt. And there he's leaning, so I'm bumping, say don't lean. Because these draft horses, that is something they're really good at. They're just leaning into things. So I'm like, nope, can't do that. This is nice. Now I'm asking him to walk on. Yeah, there, he kind of worked through a little stiffness in his body. And keeping him in the shoulder in, and we come to a halt. Again, he wants to kind of lean a little bit, so I just helping him, saying don't lean, stay soft, stay in the posture. And now let's back up a couple steps. Keeping him in that shoulder in position. Good. And that was nice, and then we can walk forward out of that. And there, he wants to push into his shoulder on me a little bit. He's a little high in the head, so I'm just saying come back down. Stay soft. Yeah, yeah, into a halt. Into a little back up here. Nice. Right back into stepping forward, back into a shoulder in. He wants to pop his head up, get a little tight, so I'm just asking him back down, get soft. It's kind of wobbly in those shoulders, and just helping. Back to a halt. Into, yeah, the back up. Nice. So that's really nice there. He's finding it, he's feeling his way through there. It's not perfect by any means, but again, this isn't about being perfect with this. It's more about can you keep them relaxed and soft, because once you put the bridle in and start doing some of the in-hand with the bridle, that's where you can really fine-tune it. But in the halter here, it's just a great place to get them started, getting the fluidity flowing. Are they paying attention to your life up and your life down? That sort of thing. That's what your main focus is here. And if it just seems like, oh my gosh, this is so much information, go back to something really simple. Get one thing, kind of get that as your focus. Play with that until it's good, then go, okay, what's the next one thing I can do that I can add to it? And so you just keep adding one more piece on, and over time, before you know it, you're like, oh man, I got all these different things going. So that's playing with the shoulder in here with some of the transitions forward to back up. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.